Hey good people, welcome back to Beauty in the Frizz. My name is Kara. Whether you're new or returning, thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me for another one today. I'm always excited to do these videos. It's a BYOP palette video. Well, just a BYOP video because the P palette. Anyway, I love doing these videos. This month's palette is going to be comprised of shades we've never used before. So if you'd like to see those and a look that I create with that palette, keep watching this video and let me know what you think. And if makeup is your therapy and your love, if it makes you happy and you want to connect with another enthusiast that feels the same way, definitely consider joining the community because I'd love to have you back. All right, let's get started. All right, so if you are new here, this is the monthly series that I do with my friend Kelly over at Keep Beauty Real and Kendra Morgan over at Kendra Morgan Official. This all started as a way to use our singles that we had not been reaching for, which has really changed for me lately. But yeah, eyeshadow singles can be so addicting and they're so beautiful, but I know I was hardly reaching for them. Kelly wasn't reaching for them. So we came up with this idea. And then Kendra, who has so many singles, she uses more singles than palettes. She was just the perfect addition because she has so many beautiful palettes and she does a lot of dupes and things like that for pre-made palettes. It's just a really great trio with the three of us. This is an open collab, so if you are here on YouTube or on Instagram, or if you just want to play along from home, build palettes with us. We're trying to use our collections and this is just the perfect way to do it. We picked 10 shades and they're all based around a certain theme, and we announce the theme for next month at the end of each month's video. So definitely make sure that if you do participate, please let us know. You can drop your video in the community playlist over on Kelly's channel and tag us on Instagram because I love to see build your own palettes. I have seen some really fantastic ones and that was kind of inspiring for me to do this myself. So as I said in the intro, this palette is going to be made up of 10 shades that I haven't used before. So let's go ahead and get into it. I did just purchase some shades from Terra, but I did not use any of those. I built this palette way in advance for once, even though I'm not filming in advance. So here is the palette, you guys. And although I have swatched a few of these shades, I have never used them in an eye look. So I'm really excited to create one today. So as per usual, I'm gonna go over each shade and the swatches and then we'll get into the look. So first up, we have the shade Centauri. This is by Terra Cosmetics and it's actually a gift from my friend Tasha. She sent these to me because she has some dupes in her singles collection. So thank you. I'm so excited to use this one. And I'm actually glad that I double checked because as I was making a pretend card on the Terra website, I put this in my pretend card and then I saw that I had put this in my palette. So I'm really glad I looked. Not that I pushed the button on that card. Ooh, look at that shade, y'all. And this shade has that deep red to kind of a rusty gold shift, brownish gold. Very beautiful, so creamy and smooth. Next up is the shade Wilted, and this is by the brand Pretties For Your Face. I'm just trying to show you the reflect of this shade. And I have a few shades by Pretties For Your Face, but I haven't really been including them in my BYOP palette, so I'm gonna try to change that habit. And here's what Wilted looks like. It's kind of a taupey lilac shade, kind of. It's got a little bit of pink in there too. As I twist my arm, I'm seeing that. Next up is a second Terra shade gifted from my friend Tasha. This is the shade Timeshift. I really have to show you all this one on the finger. Look at that. All right, and here's Timeshift. One thing I notice about this shade is that this shade is really creamy. I have shades like this in other brands where they're really flaky and they perform just fine, but this one is so smooth and creamy. It's got bright gold in there and like white gold, really pretty. This is one of my Devinah shades and it's the shade I'll Get You My Pretty. This shade was a part of a collection they had called Over the Rainbow, and I kept trying to get my hands on the entire collection, but it kept selling out when she had restocks. So I just grabbed the ones from the collection that I could. And this is one that I have not used. I've only swatched, and they deserve to be more than swatched. I'll Get You My Pretty is a beautiful sparkly shimmer. Also by Devinah, I have an Aurora Flare, and the name of this one is Phenomenon. The sad thing is I have swatched these many times over, but I have not used them all on my eyes. So this is gonna be the first time I'm using this one. Look at that. This is ridiculous. Here you see the shade Phenomenon. It's one of those chartreuse colors. And I have to say that when I felt the Aurora Flares, I had never felt an eyeshadow like that. Like, they really feel like silk. There are other shadows that feel like this, but the Devinah ones were the very first ones that I felt with this texture. And I still cherish my Auroras, even though I haven't used them all. That's a mess. Let's get into a matte shade. Here we have the shade Clementine, and this is by Copacetic Cosmetics. I don't find myself reaching for my Copacetics as much either, so I felt like it would be great to go ahead and pull this one out. And there's Clementine, beautiful orange matte, just like Cheetos. Doesn't it remind you of Cheetos? This shade is by Looxi Beauty, and this is the shade Laced. Here you see Laced. It reminds me of, I guess, what we would call a champagne pink, maybe. Is there such thing as champagne pink? Well, that's what I'm calling it. Next up, we have the shade Spruce by Clionadh, and this is one of their circle shadows. Don't sleep on these circle shadows, y'all. And there's Spruce. Very beautiful metallic shimmer. The second matte in the palette is by Devinah, and this is the shade Manic. The Devinah mattes are a bit soft. They perform beautifully, but they are soft. So unfortunately, I have not treated my palettes the best, and I have broken several of my Devinah mattes. So this is one of the ones that I do have that is intact. I just have to treat them better. Ooh, this swatch really nicely. So there's Manic. The last and final shade, y'all, is by the Glam Shop. This is the shade Alexis, and this is one of their marble shades. These are some very, very unique textures and very unique shades by Glam Shop. And I've swatched them, but I have never used this one. Unfortunately, I feel like I haven't used a lot of my Glam Shop shades. I'm just being really careful with this because this one can be kind of flaky, or it is kind of flaky. Here, let's get close up on this. Look how unique this is, y'all. Like, you see the blue and you see the bronze. And there's Alexis. And the neat thing about this shade is that you kind of don't know what you're gonna get when you swatch it, because you could get a little more of the blue or you could get more of the bronze. Now, there is more bronze in this shade, so the bronze takes over, but I feel like it's a really unique shade to use because depending on how you use it is going to play a role in how the shade shows up on your eye. For instance, if you're like maybe tapping it on, you might see a little more of the blue pigments, whereas if you are blending it out or using a shader brush or your finger, it may kind of all merge into the bronze. So I think it's a really neat shade. But anyway, y'all, I digress. This is the palette. These are 10 shades I have never used before, and this is my first time swatching it. I really, really like this palette. It is, of course, right up my alley because I made it. All right, you guys, I'm excited. Please let me know what you think about this color story. Could you find a look within this palette? Let me know in the comments, and let's go ahead and get into the look. Okay, y'all, let's get into this look. I have a feeling the children may be entering at some point. I'm gonna start with the shade Clementine by Copacetic Cosmetics, and I'm gonna use an Unearthly Cosmetics A5 brush. I'm gonna be placing the shade in my transition area. So this shade is blending really nicely. You might see some staining on my lids. I was wearing the Menagerie Sugar Glider palette and I had on an all blue look. I tried to get it off completely, but I did have a little bit of staining left. So again, I tried to cover it up, and it won't be long lasting, but if you notice that, that's what it's from, if you see any blue peeking through. This matte performed really nicely. I think we have a great transition, so let's move on. All right, I'm gonna take the same brush and I'm gonna go into Manic by Devinah, which is that matte brown. I'm gonna tap off my brush and I'm gonna place this in the outer corner and crease area. And I really plan for this look to be kind of overpowered by the shimmers. So this is just kind of like the base, but we're not gonna see too much of this, I would say, by the end of the look. All right, y'all, let's get to the fun part. So I'm looking at I'll Get You My Pretty. I like this. I'm thinking about this one for the outer corner. I was also thinking about Centauri for the outer corner, which I think would really look good. I'm trying to get my outer corner shimmer first. I love Spruce, but I don't think for the outer corner. You know what? My gut tells me to go with Centauri, but I'm not. I'm gonna go with I'll Get You My Pretty by Devinah, which is that kind of black based green blue shade, which is this one. See what happens if we take this on the outer corner. Oh yeah, I think that was a good choice. Just going ahead and tapping this in. And this is one you could spray, but I'm just really tapping it. So I'm not having any issues with fallout or anything like that. All right, now the next shade I want to use, and I was 100% sure I wanted to use this, is Phenomenon, which is the Aurora Flare by Devinah. And I am going to go ahead and spray this with the Mayron Mixing Medium. All right, y'all, so here's what we're working with. And the other shade that I really feel like I just have to use is going to be the shade Alexis from the Glam shop. And I'm gonna use that on the first third of the lid. And I'm gonna kind of overlap it with Phenomenon. Now, I am very curious about using this with a brush because it's not picking up very well. I'm trying to use the same brush, which I didn't show you all. So this is a concealer brush by Looxi. I'm really gonna spray this because I am so not sure about how this is gonna go on. Okay. It's a very foiled shade. This might be one better for your finger. And it's kind of textured. It's really pretty. But it's kind of covering up my Phenomenon shade, so I'm gonna go back in just a bit. I do wish I could get more of that blue to show up. Let me zoom in and see if my camera will stay in focus. So it is pretty. So these particles are really big. I don't know if you can see that blue at the top there. Like there's a little bit of the blue, but it blends away. Really want to use Centauri. I really do. Let me see. I'm gonna try to find a way to use Centauri, which is that red to gold shimmery shade by Terra Moons. I'm gonna go ahead and take this. I'm gonna take this on a lavish. I'm gonna see what happens if I put this in the crease. This is a typical grungy look. I think going over the brown, the color's a bit distorted from what you saw on the swatch, but I like it. All right, so that's what we have for the top. All right, so let's move into the inner corner highlight. We're gonna go into Timeshift, which was that icy white gold shifty shade by Terra Moons. I'm gonna spray that as well. I'm gonna use this Linda Hallberg 301 lip brush. I think it's a lip brush. And look how bright that is. That's a really pretty shade. That would look nice all over the lid too. Okay, so now for the under eye. I'm gonna go back into this lavish brush into Clementine, which was my transition shade, and I'm gonna just take it underneath the under eye just to kind of set this up. but I want to get into some more shimmers under here. And I'm not really making this like super pigmented or anything, but I just want to have this kind of peeking underneath. And I want to go into Spruce by Clionadh. So let's see how we can make this happen. But I'm gonna take this EO4 RS brush by Bristles Beauty. And let's see if we can bring this close to the lower lash line and still have Clementine kind of peeking out from underneath. Because this is a really grungy look, but I feel like Spruce lightens it up a little bit. And it almost ties in a bit with the I'll Get You My Pretty shade. So I kind of like that. Yes, y'all, I know. It's gonna come together. I know it looks a bit crazy. I'm gonna go into Manic, which was that matte brown that I use in the outer corner in the crease. I know, y'all, this it looks a little crazy. I don't know if I should have put Spruce under here, but we'll fix it. We're gonna get it together. Okay, we're gonna make this work. It's gonna happen for us. I'm just gonna take a brush and clean this up. I feel like this looks crazy. It does, but it's okay because it is gonna come together because the look is not, you know, all together yet. So let's back up. There we go. See? Y'all probably still like, no, it's not together. All right. So that's the look, y'all. I need y'all to see the vision and the potential. We got to get the eyeliner. We got to get the mascara. I got to get my blush, my lipstick. So I'm going to be back with the finished look and hopefully I can pull this together. Okay, y'all, this is the final look. I was really nervous, but I had to trust myself. Look, I can't. All right, let me know what y'all think about that. I think the bottom looks good now because I was nervous. So to finish off the look, you guys, I am using my Charlotte Tilbury double-ended eyeliner in the shade Super Blues, and I'm using the matte side, so it's just a navy. There it is. And I use that on my bottom lashes and a thin line on the top. And I'm using for blush the Pat McGrath, not this. Hold on, because that was Nude Venus. Did I? No, I did not. Because that was New Venus. I'm using Desert Orchid, which is just my go-to tried and true blush. For some reason, did I put on New Venus? It looks like I did, but I swore. Okay, I don't know. So it's one of the, I always have these out because I use them all the time and I mix them. Now, lipstick, I am wearing the Dior Rouge lipstick in the shade 200. This is the shade Nude Touch. It is a velvet. So tasty. So tasty. That's what my nephew River says. I love this one so much. I don't have on a liner with it. So that's it, y'all. What do I think about this? I love it. I love it. I really, really do. Let me see how many shades I used. Let me take a gander at the amount of shades. So I use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shades. 7 out of 10 is pretty good. So I did not use, I used Spruce. Hold on, 8 shades. I did not use the shade Laced by Looxi, and I did not use Wilted by Pretties For Your Face. I guess I just didn't have any room for rose gold in this look. Yeah, so that's how it goes. I try to use all 10 shades if I can, but oftentimes I just don't have enough lid space. This look came out really nice. I was nervous for a minute. I was like, maybe we should scrap this, but I was like, no, you have to believe. We'll come together. Well, that's all I've got for this video. I hope you enjoyed the look. Let me know what you think about this one. And just to let you know, next month, I believe we're doing an all multi-chrome BYOP for May. I'm really excited because, again, going through and looking at these chromes, it's just really fun. It's gonna require me to really go through all my indie singles and just pick out some multi-chrome goodness. I'm really happy about that. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. And please go check out Kelly, go check out Kendra. I'm always excited to see what they come up with each month and just see, you know, everyone's take on the theme that we do. So I am definitely excited to see their videos, and I really look forward to this every month. Thank you, Kelly and Kendra. I'm so glad that we can all do this together. And for anyone else who joins in, thank you too. And thank you just for being here with me. That's it. I hope this was therapy for you, because it always is for me. So until I see you again, make sure you are being gentle with yourself. Talk to yourself nice, stay safe, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.